Hello, this is Running Robert, and today we're going to be talking about the Quince Therapeutics QNCX third quarter 2025 summary. Today is the 14th of November 2025, and the quarterly report came out about 2 days ago. So we are going to look at the bullish and the bearish parts of it and kind of go from there. So I generally follow Small Cap Pharma. I do games. I do a little bit of everything. So if you like what I'm doing, hey, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot, and thank you. Disclaimer is I own stock. I bought it around $1.50. I'm an amateur investor, and any advice given should be followed up by your own due diligence, and information given is valid for today, the 14th of November, and the slideshow will not be updated, but as always, new news, new slideshow. So, was there anything really new in that? And not really. It was just a lot of confirmation of stuff that we had a good idea about. So the company expects data in quarter one 2026. Currently, 100% of the participants have started on the OLE studies. That's the long-term extension study. And then cash expects to go into the second quarter 2026. So all of that kind of cements that we will get data before we need cash, which is very important. The company, it's single drug with one late-stage program in phase 3. That is the thing that's given us data in first quarter. And then the second program is in clinical trial design for phase 2. It is basically the same drug method, just for a different disease. So could be quite lucrative. Company has around 26 million at the end of the third quarter. The company did report a net loss of 13 million for third quarter, and there is $12 million debt due in 2026. The market cap is still below 100 million at about 90. So cash is king because the company states they have cash until the second quarter 2026. That's set in stone. That's when they have cash. Data is going to be the first quarter of 2026. And per clinicaltrials.gov, the last patient is expected in December 2025. So they should have the study mostly wrapped up by the end of the year. So that does really look like it's pretty solid for a first quarter. Of course, if the data is good, the warrants will cash. They're like $1.20, so really nice for those. Which, if fully exercised, would get them to the second half of 2026. So we have cash to make data, but this is where it gets a little trickier. But even at best case, which is they file in the second quarter, given a priority review that would put it at the end of 2026, I don't think they're going to have cash for the whole time. So I think there's going to have to be some kind of dilution, something that occurs to get them to that point. I don't think it's going to occur before data. I think they're going to get data and then go and dilute right afterwards. So that's what we got. So what is it? It's AT. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. So it's a childhood neurologic disorder with most symptoms occurring between 5 and 10 years old with a plateau afterwards. So it is, the kids lose motor function from 5 to 10, and then they, around then, stop declining, and you just kind of have a plateau where they don't really get any better, get any worse. There's currently no treatments at all for this. The point is drugs have a less active decline until that plateau phase, which means you're losing less abilities, which is very positive. So the previous trial did show statistical improvement, which the p-value was very nice at 0.0016 in 6 to 9 year olds. Now, they were testing in all patients at that time. However, and when they took all patients, there was improvement, but it wasn't statistically proven. They needed a 0.05, and they got a 0.77. So close, but not quite there. What they did is they designed the trial for 6 to 9 year olds as your main point, but they also did kids that are older, just to give them the information. And I think that's because the FDA would want to, if it's not dangerous, any help could be good. And so, yeah. The phase 3 is under SPA, which is a special protocol assignment. So it means that the FDA has looked it over and said, hey, if this passes, it's good. So the business model. So rare disease. So pricing will be between 200 and 600,000. There's estimated 4,000 to 5,000 patients in the US. 100 patients at $400K would be 40 million in total sales. So that is kind of like our stop right there. So based on the sales staff, which I believe is 10 to 20 people, and that's about $1 million or $2 million per quarter, depending on how they get there. So if we have $2 million quarter for sales, we have the admin at $3 million, And R&D will probably be between 2 and 6, just depending if they're running a clinical trial at the moment or not. It might start closer to the 2 range, but let's look at the worst case. It's 11 million total, or 44 million that they have to spend, which is 110 patients they have. And just so we have it out there, 300 patients, 120 million. So if they can get 300 out of that 4 to 5,000, very profitable company. The company could also partner, or they could go it alone since it's a rare disease. This is definitely a high risk, high reward kind of stock. So we're looking at good rare disease pricing. We're going to get a priority review ticket, which can be sold to another company for between 80 to 120 million. But people need to be comfortable losing everything they invest on this stock, because the data might come out and there's nothing that's even close to being able to ready for this. So that would probably be the end of the company. But again, high risk, high reward. So thank you very much for watching and listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day.